Hi, it's Scott Vogel on sex addiction, and I'm going to share with you some tools to help with sex addiction. Private and group therapy sessions, along with an accountability partner, are the main tools to help sex addicts in their recovery. These tools can be supported by the insertion and use of internet porn blockers and content filters. Battling sex addiction should not be a fair fight. Sex addiction is an insidious, horrible disease that's affecting millions of people. Now, it's important that we help the addict or help ourselves in any way possible, and using tools that will help keep us from our addiction is vital. The tools that we use don't replace the recovery process or our efforts to change or overhaul behavior patterns, but they can blunt the edge of a strong desire and allow the addict to overcome that desire while it entirely hijacks their being. The common forms of sex addiction are pornography and compulsive masturbation. And that's what we're really going to deal with here is how do we help that sex addict to battle the pornography and the compulsive masturbation. As we all know, computers for many people are an indispensable part of life. They use it in their daily work, they use it in communications, and so removing the computer completely is not necessarily an option. But a recourse for a sex addict is the installation of a porn blocking filter. They're also known as content filters. There's a website, www.top10reviews.com. Do a search for porn filters or blocking filters or content filters, and you come up with different content ratings, different reviews, price lists, and system requirements. Now, these filters were originally designed to protect children from adult content. What they do is, for the sex addict, is they offer a barrier between the sex addict and the object of their addiction, pornography sites, chat sites, anything sexually related. And what it really does is it puts time and distance from the act of acting out being their sexual desire, their actual activity that they go to on the internet. So these filters make it harder for them to fulfill their need and hopefully put some time for them to make some more proper decisions. And according to this site's top 10 list, the programs range in price from $30 to $50, but there are a number of free versions as well as the paid versions available for download. There's one at brothersoft.com, there's one called K9. So take a look and see which one's going to work best for you or the addict that you're involved with or working with. Smartphones also have apps that accomplish the same goal, since once you take the internet access away, they'll start to find ways to view pornography on their smartphone, and the same thing with other mobile devices. There are porn blockers and content filters for all of the technology available today. One really important element in the filters is having a accountability partner. The tools are great, but a sex addict can and will find a way to beat those tools and undermine themselves and their recovery. So what makes the tools that much more effective is when they're set up with an accountability partner. This is someone who will monitor and hold the sex addict accountable for their actions. Now, aside from the obvious quality of trustworthiness, a good accountability partner should be of a similar gender or a gender the addict is not attracted to. You wouldn't set up a female with a male when she was attracted to men. They need to be reachable at all times. There should be no qualms about asking difficult questions and not afraid of being stern. The accountability partner should also be experienced in their own recovery and have success in their own recovery. Many of the content filter products on the market consider the accountability partner as part of their use. What they do is they set up a special password that's needed to make any changes or view the browser's history to be cleared, so the addict will leave a record of their use and can't be deleted. Some programs allow this record to be viewed remotely, others need to be viewed on the computer itself. Accountability partners ideally should meet with the addict on a regular basis, checking the computer, of course in contact by phone and email. And if the filter programs can't be reviewed remotely, then there should be an understanding where the partner can view the history on a surprise inspection basis. Now, it's not realistic for an accountability partner to be available all the time when a sex addict might be having a crisis, so these partnerships should be viewed as more of like a network and maybe assign multiple partners to a person that's really struggling. Make sure there's trust and they hold each other accountable. And don't be afraid to remind them that the relationship isn't necessarily a friendship, but it's one of mutual trust, support, and accountability. So remember, battling sex addiction should not be a fair fight. The common forms we're dealing with here are pornography and compulsive masturbation. Computers are a fact of life, mobile devices, and content filters need to be put on computers and smartphones and mobile devices of those struggling with sex addictions, and the use of an accountability partner will greatly enhance the chance of success for a sex addict. Visit our YouTube channel on sex addiction for more videos on sex addiction and recovery from sex addiction. Go to www.onsexaddiction.com for a free video explaining what sex addiction is, the 7 symptoms of sex addiction, the 4 traumas of sex addiction, the 4 faulty core beliefs set up by those traumas of sex addiction, and the solution, the 7 paths to success in recovery from sex addiction. You'll also find more information about sex addiction and sex addiction recovery.